I would like to hand you over to Maurice, who is the VP of Metaverse Week, who's going to start the conversation on NFTs in the future of the gaming industry. Thank you.
I just came back. Oh, perfect. Sorry.
Good morning. Great. You might have to turn your mic.
Yeah?
So, hey guys, my name is Maurice Andrew. I'm one of the vice presidents of Metaverse Week. So just a quick intro. Sit down. We basically run events where our aim is to raise the adoption of and the awareness of Metaverse, the NFT world, crypto, blockchain technology, and everything in that area. So we run events throughout London, and we basically allow projects to come up on the stages, take part in panels, and basically not shill their project like people do in Discord, but explain their project, whether they're an exchange or an NFT project, or they might be an investor. So we are basically a hub where we make connections for people, we make it a bit easier for them. So yeah, that's a little bit about what Metaverse Week is. Hand over to okay.
Right, so my name is Venkatesh, and I'm the CEO of Wharf Street Studios. We are based out of London, and our office is in Canary Wharf. So what we are working on is a brand called Epico. Now, this brand works on two aspects. One is the mythology aspect, wherein we are tapping into the untapped markets like the Indian mythology, African mythology, Latin American mythology, and Nigerian mythology, African mythology. Now, apart from that, we have built products under this brand, Epico, wherein we base them on emerging technologies. So all the products that we have built, the games that we have launched, the marketplaces that we have created, our own metaverse that we have created, are based on technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, augmented reality, virtual reality. And we basically would want to expand in this space by exploring other opportunities with bigger brands in the metaverse space. We also are tied up with a brand called VV Collectibles, if you are aware of. This particular brand is one of the pioneers in the NFT space. And what VV Collectibles is all about is that this particular application has signed brands like Marvel, DC, Disney, and quite some other brands in the NFT space, I would say. They basically create 3D assets on their application, and they create a marketplace for these big brands. And it's one of the biggest partnerships that we had in the year 2022. And we look forward to expanding in the metaverse space and in the NFT gaming space. Yeah.
Wicked, man. So this talk is about, obviously, the futures of NFTs and gaming. So one major thing with gaming right now, obviously, we have play to earn, play and earn. There might be something like watch and learn. You have learn and whatever, and all these other things, learn and earn, right? So with NFTs and gaming, one thing that I've seen is, okay, who in here is an avid gamer? Like you play games quite regularly. Okay, cool. So would you guys, anyone here play Grand Theft Auto? So we're taking it back to Web 2, right? Right. So when you're playing GTA or any of these other games, the one thing that keeps you on is community, right? Playing with friends. It gets quite boring if you're just playing by yourself. Eventually, you'll stop playing because there's only so much you can do, unless you're playing a single-player game and you're having a good time. So when it comes to gaming in the NFT world, I know Web 2 gamers don't necessarily like the Web 3 world for gaming. They don't like blockchain gaming. They don't like NFTs. They don't work with it. So one thing that I'm working on doing is to bring gaming to NFTs, help the adoption, is when I help projects launch their NFT projects, one thing that we do to tie communities together is we do gaming. And the one thing Web 2 gamers don't get, they don't get tutorials or shown how great blockchain gaming can be with NFTs. So I go quite a lot into Decentraland and the other metaverse known as Sandbox. And one thing that we do is, whilst we're launching a community, instead of just doing Twitter Spaces, we'll go into the Discord, we'll screen share, and we'll take the community into Sandbox. We'll take them into Decentraland, and we'll actually show them what these NFT games look like and how they could mine, earn rewards, and have a great time and actually spend time with each other. And these things are actually tying these communities together stronger than ever before. So these are standard Web 2 gamers who played normal Web 2 games are now having a great experience in Web3 through community events, instead of just seeing something online, jumping on, not having the greatest experience because they don't have a community to play with. So that's something that I do quite a bit. And just to let you know, I'm coming from a consumer side, so I don't actually own a game per se. I'm from the other side. This is what I mean.
Right. So talking about NFTs and being games in the future, so if you talk about the traditional conventional applications or how games were created, mostly games were created on mobiles, PCs, and console, and that was the only way where games were created. And it was the major difference between a Web3 game and the traditional game is that the money flow, the direction of the money flow with the users. So users basically would spend initially in the games, and the only thing that they would get is probably an enhancement to the game, but it's related only specific to that particular game. But when you talk about a Web3 application, or if you talk about NFT gamings, then we are talking about users getting value back. It's not about only spending money, but then it has changed. There's been a paradigm shift, wherein users get something out of the money that they spend. So basically, they're not just purchasing any in-game assets like before, but they are also purchasing something that they can trade and they can transfer and they can see value in that. They could also see some utilities that come along with NFTs. And apart from the fact that it could be traded in the secondary market, that's where I see that there's a future in NFTs and the games that are coming up in Web3, because it's all about as much value that the gamers, the developers basically want to add value to the users. Now, giving that example, I would also want to talk about interoperability. Now, when a particular game is giving some skins or like in-game assets that can be only used in that particular game, in the previous scenario, in this scenario that we have with Web3 and NFTs, we could actually have the feature of interoperability, wherein a game's assets, a game's avatar could be used in other games and other assets. For example, in my application, in my brand, we have Epico Regal, which is a mobile-based application, and we have created 45+ characters in augmented reality. We have a tower defense game and comics all put into one application. It's more of an entertainment application where the user journey goes, wherein he can buy a digital toy, he can watch a comic based on that digital toy, and he can also basically play a game based on that digital toy. Now, the marketplace that we created, what we've done is we have created a link between the marketplace and the Web2 application. So in our marketplace, with our partner VV Collectibles, we are the first to create the OMI utility, wherein we have listed all our characters as NFTs, and we have accepted OMI as a payment, for example, against all our NFTs. Now with this, what users can do is they can purchase our NFTs, which are really low priced. They can get in-game assets. So they would get unlockable content, which is basically a code, and that code would give them in-game assets like gold, gems, cards, which they can level up and they can utilize in the game. Now apart from that, we have created a sustainable system wherein all the OMI, that is OMI tokens that are being collected against our NFTs, 20% of that is rewarded back to the community for playing our game against the tournaments that we conduct in Epico Regal. Now, this is something that we created, again, with Epicoverse that we are creating. With VV Collectibles, they're planning to launch VVverse, for example, and we look forward to launching our characters in VVverse, or having a portal from Epicoverse wherein we will have our characters with our skins being played on VVverse, for example, with all these big brands like Marvel, DC, Disney. So I'm just visioning my characters, which are all Indian-based mythology at the moment, going on a metaverse with maybe Captain America or Captain Marvel or Hulk. So that's the interoperability feature, which again I think is a big benefit with the Web3 NFT gaming that's coming up in the recent years. Yeah.
One thing that we're going to be doing next year. So one of my partners, I'm part of a project called Moolah Cake Bakery, and one of the partners of the business, or the project should I say, is in the red hoodie, Dexter Sims. So basically what Moolah Cake Bakery is, we're going to be throwing an event next year, and this isn't like what we're not shilling, but one thing that we're doing to move NFTs in the future with gaming is we're going to hold a Tech Taster Day in April, where we're going to merge Web2 gamers and Web3 gamers in one place. And we're going to have everything from Xboxes and PlayStations and standard Web 2 gaming technology and Web 3 gaming technology. So everything from like Decentraland and Sandbox on a laptop to Horizon Worlds and Spatial through a VR headset. And we're going to have some augmented stuff there as well. And we're basically going to show them in real time in an event. Instead of just watching YouTube videos, we're going to bring them there. And professional gamers that might get paid, that might not like the NFT world, they will get to experience, whether it's centralized or decentralized gaming, through the metaverse, through NFTs, and understand how it really, really works in real time. And the one thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing, especially parents, because obviously kids are massive gamers, we're going to be showing parents the benefits of NFTs in gaming. Because, as you guys might know, if you play Fortnite or Call of Duty, you spend hours and hours and hours, weeks and weeks and weeks grinding to get better skins, to get better upgrades. If the game disappears, your assets disappear with the game. What parents don't understand is if your kid is playing with blockchain technology and he grinds and gets that skin, he can then keep it because it's locked on the blockchain. So instead of paying and renting out a system until it goes away, you can play to earn or play and earn or whatever it is, and we're going to be showcasing that next year in April, and we've already got the location locked down, 5,000 attendance, so it's going to be a wicked, wicked event. So yeah, that's it from me. Hand it back to you if you have any final thoughts.
Yeah, I really think that's a very good point that you mentioned that the skins that are available in the conventional games, they disappear when the game when it ends or you stop playing. But when you talk about the DApp applications that are coming out, so anything that's owned basically can be used in the near future. They could be traded, they could be held, they could be transferred, and they could be gifted, and they actually add value. Like in the near future, and so this is a paradigm shift where I see how gamers are transitioning from a Web 2 based applications to Web 3 DApp applications, and I think as an innovator, it's very much important for us to keep on adding value to our end users, and I think Web 3 is a very good forum for us to keep adding value. And as you can already see, NFTs maybe are right now in the like they're just a little down in the market, but then again, when they have the utilities coming up, when they have other interoperability features, etc., that are going to come up, when there are going to be more incentives for holding these NFTs, it would be a big game that you would want to be part of. Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.